So we're officially 1 week into the new year, about to start week 2, and guess what? Still no Dragon Prince news on Season 6, other than what we got last year. Now, listen, guys, I'm working on my patience, but sometimes we just gotta talk about the Dragon Prince. I can't wait any longer. So we're gonna get into 3 Rayllum theories that are gonna make you happy. Sort of. There's maybe one you might want to grab your Kleenex for. What's going on, you guys? James here, and that's right, today we're getting into 3 theories that center around Rayllum because I need to talk about the Dragon Prince. I was bottling up some of these theories and I thought, you know what? Might as well drop them for the new year. Now, Season 6 currently does not have a release date at the time of this recording, so it's still coming soon this year. So again, I dropped a video recently on my predictions of when we can get the release date, so you're going to want to check that out. But until then, let's talk about Rayla and Callum, our favorite couple on the show. Unless you like Claudia and Terry. Raise your hand if you do. But before we get into that, if it is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James, where I love talking about movies, TV, and all the news in between. So if you do too, go ahead and hit the big red button below, join the Real family, like this video, and get loud in the comments below and let me know, you guys, which theory is your favorite, and let me know a theory of your own for Rayla and Callum in Season 6. Alrighty, so let's give you a little bit of a refresher on Rayllum and where they're at currently in their relationship. It seems like everyone but Rayla and Callum can understand that they still have feelings for each other and are a couple again, but it isn't official. It was definitely not made official in Season 5. Instead, there were scenes that were hinting, oh, they're back. They're back as a couple for sure. But it never got there fully. They didn't actually say it, or they didn't actually kiss. So, guys, as a Rayllum fan, I'm struggling. I'm starving out here, guys. But Season 5 did bring them closer together, and I think that's a beautiful next step, because again, we have Season 6 and Season 7, and then the show's over. So before then, I'd have to imagine they're going to have more explicit scenes where they say, not explicit in the nature of what we're seeing in terms of what they're saying, probably going to say, I love you, right? I mean, come on, just say it. But yeah, I mean, Ehasz was on the channel, and he said that we're going to get a little bit more clarity on Rayllum in Season 6. So if that's the case, guys, yeah, we're going to need it. But again, Season 5 brought them closer together, in my opinion, and that's really because of some life-threatening situations, 3 of them in particular. The first one, well, they had to fight off corrupted banthers at the Great Bookery, which was my favorite episode of Season 5. That's when we saw Rayla with her bow and arrow. That thing was fire, y'all. And then we saw them in the Great Bookery, the library in Luxoria, and they were fighting for their lives. I mean, this was such a cool moment because you could see in that instance, right, we had Callum willing to fight and risk his life for Rayla, and then Rayla had that one-on-one before the big fight with Aunt Maya. So it's almost like Aunt Maya gave her approval to Rayla to then go and date Callum. So just, why can't they just officially get together? I know. Again, gotta be patient. Now, the second near-death experience took place in Scumport with a certain pirate named Finnegan. We saw what was the equivalent of bloodbending in The Dragon Prince with Rayla, and that was totally scary if you're a huge fan of Rayla like I am. And then we saw Callum imprisoned below deck by the hands of Finnegan, and Callum had to use dark magic to get out of that situation. So both of them really were scarred individually, but I feel like they were brought closer together because of this experience. And hey, they worked together to kill Finnegan, so go figure. But that was just number 2. Number 3 was at the end of Season 5, where Rayla and Callum had to fight alongside King Ezran underwater to fight off Claudia. Not kill Claudia, but fight her off and cut off one of her legs. Literally. And it was in this moment where Rayla went to protect Callum, using her blades, her butterfly blades, to cut off Claudia's tentacle, which then ended up being her leg, which we saw when she came onto the surface at the end of Season 5. And that's where we stand currently with Rayllum. They're together, but not officially, explicitly together. They still love each other, I think, because they really haven't said I love you. So Again, we're just waiting for the moment to arrive where they say I love you, and we know without a shadow of a doubt they are together. So now it's time to get into my 3 theories for Rayllum in Season 6. And these are theories that I will tell you will make you happy if you're a fan of Rayla and Callum. Alrighty, so theory number 1. Rayla and Callum will have a serious conversation about their relationship this season, and it will end with a kiss. But it will be followed by them having to fight Claudia together towards the final stretch of Season 6. Yes, you heard that correctly. They're going to fight Claudia again, round 2, because I do believe this show is building up to the final season, Season 7 of the series, to be all about Ehasz versus everyone else. And if that's the case, Claudia can't be in the picture, so you kind of see where I'm going with this, right, you guys, when it comes to Claudia? But Rayla and Callum definitely need a moment together, again, of course, because they did have a moment where they were stargazing, like I mentioned earlier in Season 5, but it needs to lead somewhere where they again solidify their relationship and take that next step. So if that's the case, it has to come in Season 6, but I don't think it'll come early. It'll probably be a moment that arrives later, and then it follows up with, okay, we're gonna have to go fight Claudia, but we're doing it together, we're stronger than ever, and that's how we'll win, because love prevails. I'm such a sap. So that was theory number 1. Theory number 2 is this. Rayla will free her parents, Tiandrin and Lane, and Runan and Nathari, from their coins. After freeing them, they will meet Callum. Runan and Callum will be a bit standoffish, especially considering Runan played a part in killing King Harrow. And that moment's going to be really emotional, but I hope they don't break away from that if they do go in this direction. Instead, I think eventually Callum will find it in his heart to forgive Runan because of his love for Rayla, and then eventually Runan will apologize profusely, and Runan will have a sit down and say, okay, well, I see you in Rayla, and I believe that you're amazing for Rayla, similar to the conversation that Rayla had with Aunt Maya at the Great Bookery in Season 5, and in this instance, it will finally be what Callum needs to then say, okay, fine, Rayla, I love you, and I have no reservations about it. And I believe that all of this will lead to a scene at the end of Season 6 where Rayllum finally becomes official yet again. So instead of what happens in my first theory, which is amazing moment with Rayllum, they're official and then they have to fight, maybe Season 6 ends with them finally together, right? That would be pretty cool, and then maybe they can do something in a post-credits scene, but it would be nice that Season 6 ends on a happy note, because I feel like the previous seasons didn't really end that way. And my third and final theory is this. Season 6 will end with Claudia's death at the hands of Callum, because he has to make a decision. Does he save the love of his life, Rayla, or spare his childhood friend, Claudia, who's been completely controlled by Ehasz? We've talked about this in the past in terms of Claudia having to fight not Ehasz, to get revenge for her father possibly, but instead Ehasz controlling Claudia to then fight Callum. Maybe either she's completely possessed by Ehasz, or it's a manipulation tactic where Ehasz says, if you want your dad back, gotta kill Callum. That would be very interesting, but in my opinion, if it comes down to this dire moment, Callum is undoubtedly choosing Rayla over Claudia, and who can blame him? And once that happens, then I believe it'll lead into Rayllum having a sincere moment together, finally expressing yet again that they love one another, they kiss, and the camera slowly reveals something else. So imagine all of that, pure bliss. Rayllum fans were over the moon, the fandom is happy, I'm crying, I'm a mess on camera during my reaction, but then the camera slowly pans down, and we possibly see Callum infected, similar to Zubeia being infected back in Season 5 at the Great Bookery. So if that happens, maybe it leaves us on the edge of our seats, because now we're thinking, okay, Callum, great job, Rayllum is together, everything seems wonderful, now we go and fight Ehasz, but you might be down your best guy, which is Callum, and he's literally infected. So could this then lead into Ehasz controlling Callum somehow? I can see it. And hey, we've all said in one way or another, Callum is going to be controlled again by Erebos. And what better way for it to happen than at the end of Season 6, we get breadcrumbs leading to the fact that he will be controlled in Season 7. And let me not get too ahead of myself, because I'm starting to think now, if Erebos can control Callum in this way, is Season 7 going to be Erebos and Callum versus everyone? That would be nuts. Absolutely nuts. But guys, there you have it. Those are my 3 theories that I have for Rayllum heading into Season 6. They're very happy for the most part, except for theory number 3. But they are all ending in one way. They love each other. They express that love. They kiss. They have a moment. We understand that Rayllum is back in full force, because it's been a little while, guys. It's been a couple of seasons since we've really seen them together. So I'm really hoping we get that in Season 6. I have no doubt we will, but let me know in the comments if you think it'll happen or not. And if you haven't already, hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel, because come Season 6's release date, I'm dropping every reaction right here on the channel, my review, we're getting into videos, theories, breakdowns, all of it, and we're hitting that goal this year of 50,000 subscribers, because we got Avatar: The Last Airbender premiering in February, which I'm covering right here on the channel too. It's going to be a great first half of the year, so let's keep going strong, you guys. Alrighty, y'all. Well, again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you at the next screening. Okay, I know I said these were happy theories, but now I'm a little sad after reading that third one. What am I doing to myself?